this is Jamie from Creations Misfit, and today I'm going to show you how to make a simple, quick, chunky, bulky ripple or wave stitch baby blanket, or any size blanket really. I'm doing baby blankets. I've sold a bunch of these. People have been ordering this pattern quite a bit, so I thought I would just do a quick tutorial showing how it's done. And this isn't my pattern, it's just a stitch that everybody does, but I'll just show you the way that I do it and with the materials that I use. So I'm doing a super bulky yarn. I use the Sprightly super bulky acrylic yarns, and this is a size 6. You can do this stitch with any yarn that you want, with a coordinating hook size. I like to do the bulky one for babies because this is really soft yarn and it just is so lush and thick, and but it moves well. It's not like a I like Bernat blanket yarn for a lot of people and for myself as well, but this is more movable and breathable, so I like to use this for the baby blankets. You can use as many colors as you'd like. If you wanted to do 20 colors, you could. If you just wanted to do 2, you can. It's very versatile, and I'm going to do 3 for this one. But I'll show you how to change your colors and stuff too as you go. So you'll need some yarn depending on whatever size blanket you're going to make. I can't tell you how much yarn you'll need because it really is up to you how big you want to make it. But I'm using a 12mm crochet hook, and this makes it nice and chunky. And then you'll need a yarn needle to sew in your ends and a pair of scissors. So to get started, you're going to have to decide what size you want your blanket. And if you're going to be doing a huge Afghan, that's fine. Or if you just want to do a small, maybe a baby blanket, crib blanket, or something for a stroller, you can do that as well. What you're going to do is start with a slip knot, and we're going to chain the multiples for this is there's a couple different ways to do the chevrons, the waves, the ripples. I like to do 14. Some of them use 12, and that makes it really wavy, but with the bulky yarn, if we do 14, that's more of a chevron, like the peaks and valleys kind of pattern. But with the bulky yarn, it still makes it wavy, which I like. So saying all of that, what you're going to do is chain 14. This is in multiples of 14s. So chain 14 as many times as you'd like, and then at the end of that, once you get all your 14s in, then you're going to do 3 chains at the very end. So I'm just going to do a small swatch for you today. So I'm going to chain 14, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And you want to make these a little looser than normal. With the bulky yarn, I mean, they're pretty much loose enough already, but don't make your stitches really tight no matter what kind of yarn you're using, because a couple of these you're going to have to go into more than once. So chain up as many sets of 14 as you would like. I'm going to do one more set of 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. I have to make sure I just didn't do 2 in the same. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Okay, 28. I thought I counted twice. All right, so yours is obviously going to be bigger than this. Like I said, I'm just doing a small swatch. So do all of your chains in sets of 14, and you can pause the video if you'd like and then come back. But once you're done with your sets of 14, then we're all going to chain 3 at the very end. All right, so that's how we get started. And for the first round, what we're going to do is find our 4th chain from the hook, So not what's on the hook here, but your actual chains. You're going to count 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you can go into the back loops if you'd like. That makes for a straighter edge on the bottom, or you can just go into the stitch as it is. Either way is fine. With the bulkier yarn, it is kind of easy to go into the back loops. So I like to do that for this blanket, but really it's up to you. So we're going to go into the fourth chain and do a double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then I'm going to flip and I'm going to go into this back bump. But like I said, you can just do the fronts if you'd like. So you just go in and you do a double crochet. And this chain 3 that we just skipped, those 3 chains, that's going to count as your first double crochet. So we're going to go back into that same stitch and do one more double crochet. So now we have 3 double crochets, and this part of the pattern is the up part of the chevron, and you'll see that as we go. It will be easier to see as we go, but the ends are always going to be the up part of the chevron, and then we'll do the valleys as we go. So the 3 double crochets together is always the up. And now for the next, and I know that might sound crazy. Don't worry about it. I'm just telling you for no reason. You'll see as we go how it works out. So for the next 3 stitches, we're just going to do a double crochet in the next 3 chains. 1 double crochet in each of the next 3 chains. 1, 2, sorry if you hear some buzzing outside. It's snowing and they're out there clearing the snow. Okay, and 3. And now we're going to start working on the part that goes the down part of the chevron. So for the next 3 stitches, we need to put 3 double crochets together. And the way you do that is we go into the next chain available. And remember, I'm going into the back bumps if it looks a little bit different. If yours is flipped this way, you'll just be going into the regular chains. Okay, so we go into the next one available and yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, just like you would to start a regular double crochet. So you have 2 chains on the hook. Now instead of finishing that double crochet, we're going to yarn over and go into the next chain. And we're going to do the same thing. Yarn over and pull through, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. So now we have 3 chains on the hook. And now we're going to put a third one together, double crochet a third one together. So we yarn over, go into the very next chain, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, and now you should have 4 loops on your hook, and we're going to yarn over and pull through all 4. And that is crocheting 3 double crochets together. So this is going to be the bottom part. You can't quite see it yet, but here's how our chevron or our wave is going to go. The ends will be like, it doesn't really show that it's going up yet, but here's like the top of our chevron, and we're moving to the down part here. So now what we did on this side, we need to mirror. And if you don't get it yet, don't even worry about it. I'm going to show you exactly the stitches to do. And this is just a repeat pattern. We repeat it every single row, and it gets so easy. You could just see it as you're working it, so you don't even really have to count. Okay, so now that we did 3 together on this side, we're going to start going back up. Here, we're going to start going back up. So we need to do 3 more together to get the other side of the bottom here. So for the next 3, we're going to do another 3 double crochets together. So go into the next chain and start your double crochet, but don't finish it. Leave 2 chains on the hook, yarn over and go into the next available chain, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. So you have 3 chains on the hook now. And then the last one, we're going to yarn over, go into the next chain, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and we have 4 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all 4. So now we've done 2 of the double crochets together. So you can see how this is starting to make a wave here. So now we're working our way back up. So the next 3, these are all worked in 3s. It's 3 in the same stitch, then 3 separate double crochets by themselves, then 3 together, and then we're going to keep going from there. So the next ones, we're going to do 3 double crochets in the next 3 stitches, just 1 in each. So 1 double crochet in the next stitch, 1 double crochet in the stitch after that, 1 double crochet in the stitch after that. Okay, and now we're going to start working the next peak part. So the peaks are 3 double crochets in the same stitch. So we're going to find our next chain and do 3 double crochets in that chain. Go into the same one 3 times. All right, so you can kind of see how this is shaping up. See, we go down, we go up. Now what we do on the way up, we have to start doing back on the way down. So we just did 3 in the same stitch, so we're going to do that again. We're going to do in the next stitch, or next chain, we're going to do, and the chains, going into the chains is the hardest part of this pattern. It gets really easy once you just go into the stitches instead of the chains. So for this one, we're going to do 3 double crochets in the same chain. Go back into it again to do the second double crochet, and then do 1 more in that same chain. All right, and then in between the increases, which we just did, and the decreases where we put 3 together, there's always going to be 3 separate double crochets. So in the next 3 chains, work 3 separate double crochets, and we'll be right back. Okay, so you should have done your next 3 single double crochets. And then we're going to start working in the valley again. So we need to do 3 double crochets together. So go into the next stitch, do your double crochet up until you have 2 loops left, yarn over and go into the next stitch or next chain, yarn over, pull through 2, 3 chains on the hook, or 3 loops on the hook, and then yarn over and go into the next chain, yarn over, go through 2, 4 loops on the hook, yarn over and go through all 4. And remember, we have to do that twice because we are doing that on the way down and we're doing it back on the way up. So the next 3 are also going to be together. So you're doing your decrease here. And the way that the rows stay the same amount of stitches is because we're doing 2 stitches of decrease and we're doing 2 stitches of increase in each one. Okay, so now we have done our 2 decreases. This is what you should have going so far. So this is the bottom, and now we have to start working our way back up because remember, on the ends are always going to go end with ups. So the next 3 chains are just single double crochets, 1 in each. I know this sounds really confusing at first. The first time I did it, this was one of the very first blankets I made, and I thought, oh my God, I'm never going to do this. And then by the 3rd row, it was just mindless. I didn't even have to pay attention anymore to what I was doing. So a double crochet in this stitch. And there's a snowblower. A double crochet in the next. and one more double crochet in the next. And you should have one chain left. So in that last one, we're going to do 3 double crochets in the same chain. Make sure that you don't skip that last one, especially if you're going to the back loops. It's sometimes hard to see. So we're going to do 3 in the same one for our increase, because on the ends we go in the up position. So that's our increase. So this is what your pattern should look like. Yours will be larger, of course. And this is what we should have for the first row. All right, so now for the second row, we're going to chain 3, and this always counts as a double crochet on the ends. So chain 3 and turn our work, and because we need 3 for our increase, that counts as 1, and we're going to go into that stitch, that same stitch that the chain 3s are in, and do 2 more double crochets. And now it's just easy to go straight into the stitch. We don't have to worry about chains. So you do 2 more in there for a total of 3. And that 3 includes our chain 3 on the end. All right, so now if you remember, after that we need to do 3 double crochets in the next 3 stitches. So just 1 double crochet in each of the next 3. Between our peaks and valleys, there's always 3 regular double crochets. Okay, and from here we're going to double crochet the next 3 together. So we remember how to do that decrease. We go in and yarn over and pull through 2, and then we're going to go into the next, yarn over and pull through 2, 3 loops on the hook, go into the next, yarn over, pull through 2, 4 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all 4. And that's the first part of our down. Now we're going to start moving back up, so we have to repeat that. We're going to double crochet the next 3 together. So do our decrease in the next 3. If this is going too fast for you, you can just pause the video or go back and rewatch the first round, because this is really just showing you how to do it all over again. It's the same thing every round or every row. All right, now in between our peaks and valleys, remember we have to do 3 regular double crochets. So in the next 3 stitches, just do 1 double crochet each. And this yarn is so easy to work with. The bulky yarn and such a big hook, it just makes everything so easy, and it's nice, and I mean it's not too holey, but it's airy enough, and it just is really, I don't know, it just feels really lush. Okay, so from here we're going to do our increase. So in the next stitch we need to do 3 double crochets in the same stitch, and this is going to form our peak, or 1/2 of our peak. So 3 in the same, and we have to repeat that so that we start going down. So the next stitch here, we're going to do 3 double crochets in that stitch, and this works up really fast. I mean, I don't even know how long it took me to make these baby blankets, but not long at all. I don't even know. I can't say an hour for sure, but not very much time. All right, so here's what yours should be looking like. And in between the peaks and valleys, what do? A double crochet in the next 3. So 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, and 3 double crochet. So it's all 3s. All right, the next 3 are going to be going down, so we need to do 3 together. So we do our decrease, the next 3 together. And then the next 3 need to also be together. So decrease the next 3. and pull. And you'll start to see in the decreases, there will be kind of like a little hole. It kind of makes a pattern on the way up that looks like striping almost. It's kind of cool. Okay, so after that, we need to do our single double crochets. And it's just a double crochet. I say single because I mean we're not decreasing or increasing, but one double crochet in each of the next three stitches. One, two, and three. And then in our last one, we're going to do three double crochet into the same stitch. And make sure your stitch counts are on point so that you don't miss the last one. It's important. Okay, so we do three into the last one. And this is what you should have going so far. So now it's up to you how often you want to switch your colors. What's nice about this is you can do, say you want to do two colors or two rows of pink, and then you want to do 5 rows of dark gray, and then 1 row of light gray, and then go back and redo that pattern. Or you can change it up as often or as little as you'd like. So for my pattern, I think I did 4 rows of pink, and then I did 3 rows of the next gray, and then 2 rows of the next gray. And I repeated that pattern 3 times. 4 rows of pink, 3 of the darker gray, I believe, and then 2 of the light gray, and went like that. But you really could do whatever you want. So I'm going to just show you how to change over the yarn when you're ready to change your color. And there's so many ways to do it. You can cut your yarn and just start all over again if you'd like, by tying on your new yarn. You can do it however you want. So what I like to do, I'm going to pull out this last stitch so I can show you. But remember we had to go 3 into this last one. So here's my last one. Before I pull through that last 2, I like to change my yarn right there. So I grab my new yarn, put it on my hook, and pull through with the new yarn. Just kind of pull those tightly. And then I cut the pink. And you can either leave that end to weave in at the end, or you can weave it as you go. I like to weave it as I go. So remember, at the end of each round, we're going to chain up 3. 1, 2, 3, and then that will start our new row already, and turn our work. So from here, like I said, if you'd like to leave these, you can leave them and sew them in at the end. I just kind of bring them with me. So I bring them around the side here. And now remember, when we start, this counts as our first double crochet, but the ends are our peaks. So we need to increase. So we need 3 double crochets in the same stitch. Here's 1. The chain counts as 1. So we need 2 more in that same stitch. So I just hold my yarn ends back here. I go into this stitch and make sure that I'm going underneath those yarn ends. And I do my next 2 double crochets in that same stitch. And then we just repeat. So after that, the next 3 are going to be 1 double crochet in each stitch. Make sure you're pulling your yarn ends with you. There's 1, there's 2, and 3. And then from there, we're going to do the next 3 together. So we go into this next one. Whoops. Yarn over and pull up a loop. Yarn over and pull through 2. And then we're going to go into the next. Whoops. And decrease into our next. And you can pull these as long or as little as you'd like. I'd say pull them through a good amount because this yarn, since it's bulky, the stitches aren't very tight, so you want to make sure that it stays in there. Yarn over and pull through all 4. And then we're going to do the next 3 together again for our decrease. Decrease on the way down, increase on the way up. And then the next 3 stitches, remember, are going to be 1 double crochet in each of the stitches, in each of the next 3 stitches. So 1, I'm still pulling these yarns. I could probably let them go now, but I kind of just like to pull them as far as they'll go for the most part. And then we're at the top, so we need to do 3 stitches, 3 double crochets in 1 stitch. So it's 1, 2, sorry if I'm yanking this, I'm trying to pull my yarn, and 3. I'm going to just, here, actually I'm just going to cut these now. You can just cut them off when you're finished pulling them through. All right, 1 last double crochet in there. And then the next we need to do 3 in that one as well to mirror what we just did. So 1, 2, and 3. I'll just go to the end here with you and then we can be finished. And the next 3 are going to be double crochets by themselves. 1, 2, and 3. And then we're in the bottom, so we need to decrease 3 together. 1, 2, 3 together, and then we need to do that again. So the next 3 are together, 2, 3 together, and the next 3 stand alone. 1, 2, and 3. And it kind of looks like you're done there, but you got to make sure you get into that last one. And we do 3 in the same one for the last one. So that's our increase. 1, 2, 3, and then you will chain up 3 and keep working from there. So that is how you do the ripple stitch or chevron stitch, whatever you want to call it. This, if you do this stitch with a thinner yarn, these are probably going to be more peaked. So they'll kind of be more like a sharp triangle. I prefer the wavy kind of look. So I like to do it with the thicker yarn because then it looks more rounded, and to me that just looks more modern, and I like it with the chunky yarn. So if you do it with a thinner yarn, don't be surprised if it's more peaked, and a lot of people like that. I've had blankets that I've made like that people like the peak better as well. So it's just preference. And here you can kind of see where these holes are going to go, and it looks really neat once it's done because it kind of makes its own pattern on the way up. So that's how you do this ripple wave stitch. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. And if you'd like to see anything else, please let me know in the comments below as well. I'm happy to make tutorial videos for stitches or patterns or anything you'd like to see. If you could like this video and if you'd like to subscribe, that would be great as well. I'm just getting started here with YouTube, but I'd like to put out a lot more content if people are wanting to see it. So thank you again for coming along on this ride. And oh, and if you make this and you'd like to show me, I am on Instagram. Please tag me at Creations Misfit. I'd love to know if this video helped you. Thanks so much and have a great day.